Hey, we're live. How are you? Visionary entrepreneurs, life changers. Super happy to be back here in our Facebook group, Abundant Entrepreneurs. Yay! Every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time is our Momentum Monday. I hope you've already get a chance to watch some of our previous episodes in our group under the guide. So you can see all the previous episodes. But every week we have a new episode to keep you inspired and also empowered. So that's one of our free gifts to all of our Abundant Entrepreneurs group members. And today, what's on today's new episode is about who is holding you accountable and also lifting you up. And I think this topic may be super important for especially our solo entrepreneurs, right? We have so many like coaches, authors, speakers, creative experts inside of our group. I call them visionary entrepreneurs and life changers. We are here to change lives, right? And majority of ours really on our solopreneurship. Maybe some of you just started, some of you have already been in like some years. Me have been in the coaching for 13 years. So yeah, celebrating that, right? We sustained for till the 13 years. And what is most important? If you are a solo entrepreneur, you may be day by day, every day, right? Even no matter how passionate you are on your business, on the things you created, you may still feel like you. Sometimes you may feel lonely. Sometimes you may feel you are like fighting with something alone. No matter how passionate you are, right? Because now it's serious business. It's not just your passion. It's not just your hobby anymore. If it's in business, especially if you are a solopreneur, you would be doing what? So many multiple different roles, right? You will be the CEO, the founder, and also you'll be a product creator. You are the marketing person. You're the sales, and you're also the customer service, everything, right? So, and also maybe you're a system person as well. You have to build up all your like technology or platform and system. No matter how great like systems you are being using, but you still need to even though you leverage other resources, right? But you still need to know the things to connect every dots together. So that's why when you are an entrepreneur, you are managing multiple roles of your business. And now, especially, no matter what kind of a system or resources you leverage, but the most important thing is who is really holding you accountable. And especially if you have a great vision and dream you want to fulfill, like all of us are here, life changers. We want to impact many lives. And at the same time, we want to accomplish so many things, right? The bigger vision and dream you have, the more things you really want to accomplish. And that means like every year or every quarter or even every week, you may get quite some good goals, right? And now who is holding you accountable? I believe that you've already been in the business for some years. Maybe you already built up a good habits, and you have already like great habits to set up your goals and even allocate every day, put it into appointments. I hope so. I even made appointments with yourself and hold yourself accountable and to do all the things. But in long run, if you only depend on yourself sometimes, no matter how motivated you are, how passionate you are, or how great you are as an entrepreneur, time from time, you may still feel like you the things towards the distance from you where you are to the big goal and vision you want to fulfill, you may still feel like you need some extra boosts, right? You need some support. That's why I always emphasize that you need to have your role models. The role models who have already achieved where you want to achieve. You really admire their characters, their personalities, and what they've already accomplished in their life and in their business with integrity, right? So you want to follow them. But still, you would like somebody, and not even just maybe one body, right? Somebody are supporting you at a daily basis, especially someone you would admire and somebody could inspire you and also hold you accountable. And at the same time, lifting you up. So you do not want just like buddies, just peers or friends or just family members who just ask you, oh, how are you doing? Or sometimes they may challenge you, you are not like, oh, maybe that sucks, and you really need, they may how to say, they may say, oh, you really need hurry up, or you may really need to meet some certain goals. Sometimes maybe your family members and friends could not fully understand what you are doing. Like, oh, I'm doing the coaching, inspiring and empowering visionary entrepreneurs and life changers to step up and stand out as confident experts and also thought leaders to impact more lives. Majority of the time, my family members could not understand what I'm doing, even though they are your loved ones, dear ones, right? Sometimes they may not be as really on the same page, understanding what your big dream and visions are, right? So that's why you really need some like-minded people, and not just like-minded people as peers to support you, but you really need coaches and mentors. Like I remember I started my coaching business since 2009, 13 years ago. And initially I thought I've already learned everything. I got my certificate, right, coaching certificate. I had my MBA, executive MBA background. I had quite some years, 13 years of corporate experience, even though I was not directly in marketing and sales, right? I thought, oh, at least I have professional background. So, and I also did training, did performance management. So I thought, okay, I've already learned everything. I should be ready to really pursue my passion, right? But 2 or 3 years into my passion, then I realized, gosh, there's so much to learn. There's so many aspects of business to really for me to learn to manage and proceed. So since then, I started to realize I really need to restart, to empty my cup and really start from scratch. Like as an entrepreneur, I really need. So since then, I started to invest in myself, learn from different masters and also teachers, right, mentors in the industry. I remember I invested so much every year, depends on where my business is up. I invited for different areas. For example, initially is in the mindset, the money mindset. I was so good at serving people, but I was not so good of charging people, right? I was asking people for their investment. So that's where I invested initially for my mentor. I remember my first mentor was Summerhawk, Kendall Summerhawk. She's very good. She's like a feminine queen, and she was very good at the money mindset and also understanding people's psychology. So I learned from her, and then later I invested so many different aspects like joint venture, because I want to partner with other people, entrepreneurs, to support each other, and also I need to build up my platform to really enable my business to be online and also cooperate with other partners, right? So I invest in joint venture inner circle and become their VIP members, and also eventually their star students. And I invest in what? Invested in, gosh, how many? Over dozens of great mentors in different aspects. And some are in doing webinar, right? Some are in speaking. Some are in like Tony Robbins as well. I invested in him a whole year, almost 2 years through the pandemic, because that's the time I cannot travel, but I really need to focus on developing my business and especially my mindset to get to another level, right, through the pandemic. So I attended all Tony Robbins' new form of live events online, like it's a virtual event, so I do not need to travel. And I learned from Dean Grusase from his mastermind, master, what's the name? It's his mastery, like a mastery boot camp. And then I invested in offers, invested in content, almost every aspect, and other like a mastermind group as well. Okay, so all the aspects of business, and also ClickFunnels, by the way, yeah, platform, the system, right? So any aspects of business, you mentioned it, I invest myself to learn from the best. So I'm so proud for this progress, because every year I keep growing, and my business also keep growing. So that's where I see the power of coaching and mentorship, and really believe that they said everybody needs a coach. Because I also witnessed my clients, their transformations without and with the coach. Because for example, my clients, some of them, when they started, they did not have that confidence, right? That's the number one. Like the second question we want to talk about. What's your number one block that is holding you back from achieving what you desire and deserve? Majority of people, I found this is a common block, and it's a root cause. Everyone is lacking of that self-confidence. Everybody has that self-doubt, right? At different extent, at different stage. But it's always following every one of us. And it's just like showing big or showing small in blocking you from moving forward. So all of my clients at different level, they have that self-doubt. They do not fully believe in themselves. Some of them do not even thinking that they deserve abundance. So that's where I help them to open their mindset, to show them who they truly are. It's really getting into them who they fundamentally who they are and what they've already been blessed with. Sounds like everybody think about, that's just a mindset. There's too much mindset. But the mindset will majority time, 90% time, will really holding you back. And sometimes you are just not, you do not just even aware of it. For example, if you set up some goals, but you are procrastinating, you are not having that, you feel like you do not have that kind of inspired and super high energy and a passion to fulfill it. And that sometimes is really like your self-doubt is playing there, and you may not even realize that. And for example, you set up some goals and you really want to achieve, you admire some level of success, right? And you watch the other people achieve that, and you would ask me why I could not achieve that, right? And then you have the self-doubt and the even sabotaging, and sometimes even little, but that can really holding you back every day to move forward. So that's why all those aspects I mentioned, you need to invest in yourself to improve, and especially understand where you want to go. And many of the clients I just found, even though they want to be successful, but when you ask them to describe what kind of success and where they want to go, and majority of them are not super 100% clear about their direction and the vision they want to fulfill. And many people said their purpose, right, their life purpose, they would say they want to help people. Almost like a majority of people, if you ask them what's their purpose, they would say they want to live a great life, they want to live a happy and great life with their loved ones, and also at the same time want to help other people. It's just like two fundamental things. One side, you want to live a good life with your loved ones. On the other side, for a good, really good life, all the people want to have some sense of fulfilling, that kind of like adding values to contribute to others. So they will all say to you, their purpose is to help other people. But when you ask them what's your specific way to help other people, they may say, use this and that. But it's just like a quite random. They are not fully concentrated their life on the best way, on the best blessed way, and also unique mission that they are called to fulfill. So that's where maybe you really need some kind of a coaching and a mentoring to help you clarify. Because if your direction is not clear, your paths will not be clear, and you will take some detours. And sometimes people say, life is okay, life is for exploration. Yes, I agree with that. I'm an explorer. I'm a pioneer as well. But if you just randomly try this and try that and just follow trends in this world, just follow what is popular, or maybe this one is a hot direction, or maybe that one is a trend, you just blindly follow that not necessarily in the end really fulfill you what you are called here. I believe that everyone has your specific unique calling and also mission. Even though sometimes you see in the market, right, when people describe their marketing, you see the messages, maybe you feel like, that's similar. Some people are if, for example, many people, they want to create their courses, right, the online courses or some kind of online programs. They feel like, these are similar. But if you really go into it, really understand yourself, you will see that you have no competition actually. Because so many people worry about, the business is so busy, so noisy, so many competitions, and they have a self-doubt. But here I'm really telling you that you do not need to worry about competition, because you really have that unique call and mission, and really you have the unique gifts. Even the message sounds like similar in that similar category, but if you really elaborate it, like really work with your coach or mentor to work it out and make that message very unique, and through your personal unique gifts and through your personal stories. There's no same stories, right? Even though I know that I had very tough, like for my marriage crisis, a very tough experience, and even tried to suicide myself, and that kind of a darkest journey. Even some other people may experience like a suicidal or maybe like a marriage crisis, but if you really elaborate your stories, it's totally unique and different, and your experience and your growth, your transformation, totally different. So your messages, your gifts are totally different, right? And your core if you really elaborate, it's totally different. So that's where I think majority of our entrepreneurs really start from there, fully understand who they are, what they are called here for, and what kind of gifts they really have. And that's where they could really own their confidence. Because so many of them lack of that clarity and also lack of that really like great guidance of exercises to fully understand them. For that part, I normally help my clients to do the deep, we call it 11 levels, deep purpose discovery. By the way, Tony Robbins and also Dean Gross, my mentors, right? They do like they call 7 levels. I do 11 levels. So let's really go deep and like it's peel the onion skin. Layer by layers, you need to fully understand yourself. So many people take granted this, oh, of course I understand myself. I know what I like, I know what I don't like. But if you really peel the layers to fully understand yourself and connect with yourself, you will know what you are called here truly for. And then you will have that kind of alignment and that kind of energy and passion. It's not just like a normal level of passion anymore. It's like your purposeful passion. And know you now, you fully understand what you want to fulfill. And we do not stop there. And we help our clients further develop. It's like their vision, clarifying their vision. If your vision is not clear, like for example, if you want to travel to some place, right? If you do not decide your destination, what kind of flight would you take? Where do you go? You don't know, right? So you need to have a clarity of your vision, what specifically you want to fulfill before you can really design your itinerary. So that's where we help our clients clarify their vision and also draw or like design their vision board. That's the most, I think that's the most fun and interesting part, because so many people, they did not expect that their vision is totally expanded, and not just expanded, it's clarified. Because when you really put everything just vague and foggy in your mind, in your vision, put them into colorful pictures and put them together, align it, that's a super creative process and a very high energy process. And then your life is just like immediately expanded. And even though the very end, right, it's not like specifically just like one destination, but when you put all those things together, and then you will get, wow, aha, that could be my life, could be. And even though that is not like a limitation, right, it's just like a possibility. But eventually, if you go with that vision board, your life could go beyond. Because it's like once you fulfill one, right, we will hold our clients accountable to update their vision board, because it's like ever expanding. So it's never just like a fixed itinerary. For example, today you go to Paris, that's not your end destination. That's just like a one milestone, one stop. And then after Paris, maybe you get inspired. And then where is the next one? Maybe your next vision is really go to like a coast, very like a, how to say, an island, a beautiful island, a very exotic island. So that your passion and possibility keeps expanding, and every milestone you achieve, and we hold them accountable to expand their vision to the next level. But the one thing is not changing. It's like fundamentally and ultimately who you want to become and what kind of like impact you want to create. That's the ultimate vision. And it's just like climbing the mountain. We helped you see the vision of the like a mountain Everest, see that tip already, and that kind of direction. So you will have the clarity to design your vision board and also your path. Only when you own your clear, purposeful purpose and also passion, and know what the specific mission you are called to fulfill, what kind of impact you want to make. And now, till now, you could really create a clear path, the success path. We would say sometimes also get to your roadmap. Now it's much clearer than you just like how to say, oh, I want success, but you don't know what specifically success means. Is that just become a multiple millionaire, or is just become like either become a coach or become, how to say, host with a group with how many people? Just measure. I know measurement is super important. We as a like performance management as well help you, hold you accountable to measure performance with specific like numbers, but you keep growing. But more important is the alignment totally with your purpose and vision. So that's the first step, right? So it's like what you are really going to. And what's your ultimate, like your desiring dreams? What is your dream? And that's where we hold you accountable, but also lift you up to expand it. And the majority of the time, I just feel so excited and happy for my clients because through our abundance coaching, really help them expand what they originally could imagine. So that's the most important and also most fun part. And the second step is what holding you back, right? We talked about self-doubt, and sometimes maybe because of fears. People may have the fears about success. If they, that's interesting, right? Majority of people may be fear of failure, but some people also fear about success. Because if success, they would think success means sacrifice. Like become a super successful means like super sacrifice. They thought they have to sacrifice their personal life, sacrifice their family, their time, their whatever, right? The life quality. They think they have to like pay that much for success. So that's holding them back as well. So different people have different fears, and also self-doubt is always with everybody. And that's if that is holding you. And that's especially where you want to have coaches and mentors to hold you accountable and especially lift you up. Because whenever you get into that kind of either blind spots or even unconscious self-sabotaging, it's just like we are, how to say, programmed through your previous dozens of years. All those kind of sometimes the negative experience or sometimes the failures. And by the way, failures of the majority time, right? We will get either objections, or we did not meet where we want to go, and that's majority. And of course, we had celebration time. We had our victory time. But compared with failure and not fulfilling what we wish, maybe, the victory time is much, much less, right? So that's why those negative programming or circling in your brain will unconsciously holding you back. That previous experience, we think, oh, maybe I do not need to bother that, and I could not meet that. So whenever you want to set up some new goals to overcome, that old experience and old programming is always trying to hold you back. It's like protecting you, but that's a lie, right? It's actually holding you back. So that's especially the time you need a coach and mentor to lift you up, to get you out of your blind spot, to see the new possibilities. And especially as not your cheerleaders, your inspiration and your new empowerment, you would feel that somebody is together with you on this journey instead of by yourself, right? Whenever you feel like recently my daughter, this is a little story about my daughter. She, through the pandemic, right, she was quite frustrated because she's a quite active kid. She loves to hang out with her friends and she loved to participate in different activities. But pandemic, all this is just like isolated her. So she's had to spend much more time on computer for study, for talk with her friends. She got so frustrated and her health, her immune system get down, and she experienced very severe eczema. So it's quite challenging for all of us. And it's itching. She could not get like a good sleep and insomnia. All these kind of problems she got during the pandemic. And but thank God in New York they resumed school study, and the kids just students and the teachers are all wearing their masks, right? So at least she get a chance to go back to school to connect with her friends and teachers. So she's feeling a little bit better. And recently she just decided the school provided the first time student council and also provided different roles for them to apply for election. She decided to attend for the president. She said get a chance to change and positively impact the school, make her feel like excited. So she decided to run for the president, and she started to work with her friends and together, and they create their posts and create their marketing material and the campaign and to like do all this kind of promotion through the school and increase her communication and also listening skills. And through this kind of bundling and also support from me, actually, I'm the coach behind her, right? Support her, but eventually she lead that initiation and also eventually won, and also learn how to persuade other people. So this kind of environment is really like you want somebody to lift you up. This time she majority depend on her friends. Of course, she empowered her friends and also talked with them and make some of them initially maybe electively thought about election and was not care about that, and she empowered them to be interested and support her. So through this process, you understand like how important is you have a like-minded environment, like a community is super important, right? And at the same time, you also want a coach to hold you accountable and lift you up as well. I remember when I learned that news, I was super happy. I was fully supporting her. So she asked me to help her proofreading her like a campaign message and also help her print colorful posts from what's that, stable? Yeah, we went to stable to print the dozens of colorful posters so she could post that in the school. So you need somebody like also the environment, right, to support you, the peers, the communities, and like-minded ones and positive ones. And also you need a coach to hold you accountable and lift you up to the next level. I remember we had many talks during her campaign because it's quite challenging. And some other kids, elective ones or other competitors, supporters, they would peel, how to say, rip other candidates' posters. It's just like a very fierce competition. It's just like imagine the U.S. President's election, right? All these different campaigns, people are fighting together like that. And but then through that process, I communicated with her and calmed her down, and she was quite frustrated and even angry, right? But I talked with her to help her to really, standing from a more leadership position, how to handle that kind of situation, how to communicate with other students, how to communicate with her own team, and also communicate with her competitors, and also how to communicate with teachers who are facilitating this whole campaign. Then eventually she won. I was super happy. Of course, the majority efforts is from her own, but also because the friendship support and also the coaches, me as both mom and a coach, right, to support her. That's super important for her for that win. I also remember another one of my clients. He's a German. He's a Germany, and he wants to attend. He was learning Chinese for a few years, and he wants to turn that passion into a business. So I help him to launch the business, and at the same time he wants to attend some like a Chinese speaking competition. Initially he had a doubt. He was not sure like he could make it. And we did the abundance coaching, we did the meditation and activation, right, for his super energy and help him to understand more, believe in himself. And then he won 2 times of number one of speaking, Chinese speaking, and also he's been hosting his podcast. It's called Top. What's his name? What's the name is like Top Speakers, like that kind of a name, right? He's taking more confident leadership position to lead that podcast and to share speaking topics every week. I was holding him accountable and even challenging him. Actually, I love challenge. I love challenging my clients as well to not just holding them accountable to their goals. I keep challenging them, expand their vision, expand their goals, and especially take the actions to fulfill that, right? So I keep challenging them, and then he was he launched his business quickly in short months, and also get his paid clients and serve them, and at the same time hosting his podcast and reaching to many more people. So that's some examples, like when you may be stuck in your blocks, stuck in your self-doubt or fears, and sometimes it's not like a lack of energy, lack of fully believing self, and a lack of clarity of your vision and purpose, because all those can cause your lack of action and take the, build up habits and take the momentum to fulfill. And that's why Monday is our Momentum Monday time. And like Tony Robbins said, momentum is everything. It's just like energy is everything. If every day you could take inspired action, fully aligned with your purpose and passion, fully aligned with the vision you want to fulfill, and you are unstoppable. So that's where you would like to have your coach and mentor to hold you accountable and also at the same time to lift you up. And I know there are so many very good coaches out there, but like I mentioned, when I was interviewed by the Formidable Women magazine, and I talked about the difference between a majority coaches and abundance coach. It's just like I said there's a difference between good and great. The good ones could hold you accountable, right? But the great ones can really stretch you to the level you could not imagine, could really help you to fully align with who you are created for and what you are called to fulfill. So that's a great abundance coaching, different from a majority coaching. Okay, so that's today's topic. I hope you get inspired. What questions you may have? Let me see if you have any comments. And today I'm glad within 30 minutes. Joseph, thank you. Greatness. Yeah, that's where you really want to be lifted up to fulfill your greatness. But eventually, coaches and mentors should not be eventually your babysitter. Should not be the one hold you accountable. Eventually, I mean. Initially, you may need some help to hold you accountable, to help you first get clarity where you want to go, right? What's your purpose, dream, and vision? And also hold you accountable, set up goals, and also achieve them. But eventually, the great coaches are empowering you to become the person who holds accountable of yourself. And then because you gain that clarity, you gain that the habits, right? You build up the habits through this process. You gain the power, you gain that energy, you gain the belief in yourself, and eventually you become the person who even without the coach and mentor. I'm not saying that you will not have a coach and mentor anymore, but I mean every coach and mentor, you can grow a certain period of time with them. And once you grow up, you could live, be independent by yourself, then hold yourself accountable. And of course, you still need always the next level of coaches to hold you accountable and lift you up. That's a fundamental goal, right? You want everybody to lift you up from your current level to your next level, and that is like an unstoppable process. Keep you expanding and evolving to your next level. So that's a fundamental vision you want to have. Whoever whoever coaches or mentor you want to hire, right, to work with you, so that eventually they could lift you up to your next level, and there's no limit. If the coach and or mentor can always help you expand your view, expand your vision to the next level, then that will be a great one to keep growing with. Okay, so yeah, at the end, I always will not let my audience leave without any specific a vision or path that they could help them grow to the next level. So if you are interested, I would be happy to invite you to our abundance you inner circle. It's just the best place, the best land to empower our visionary entrepreneurs to their next level. We have this group, Abundant Entrepreneurs Group. This is for our life changers and visionary entrepreneurs to get our daily inspirations and the momentum, and also the empowerment. But if you really want to get into your specific clarity and be empowered to be unstoppable, to fulfill the things you want to do and expand your level to the next level, so that's the best place, Abundance You Inner Circle. And after this video, I will share the link under my video. Okay, feel free to comment, and if you have any question, I would be happy to answer, and would look forward to seeing you inside of our Abundance You Inner Circle to really fulfill your true ultimate level of what you are called here to fulfill. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Take this Monday momentum and to accomplish more things. See you. Bye bye.